brothers, I think American society is on the brink of collapse. I have accepted that it may very well be over sooner than we think with the news that I just found. For some reason, whenever men get a small victory in the legal system, it usually ends with us taking a fat L on the back end of that small victory. And I know you might be wondering what the hell I'm talking about, and I'm going to say, we're effed if this bill passes. So you guys know that we took a small W in the Roe v. Wade law that was passed not long ago. Well, what if I told you that it came with a huge consequence on the back end that we did not see coming, and it might make things 10 times worse for men if this bill is passed in the Supreme Court? Shout out to the father we never had, Coach Greg Adams, for inspiring this video because Republican Rubio introduced a bill to make fathers pay child support from conception. Yes, you heard that right, gents, at the moment of conception. Not after the child is pushed between her thighs. Oh my God, what the hell are we going to do if this bill gets passed by the Supreme Court and we get wrongfully blamed as the baby's father? Do we still have to pay or what? I have too many questions, but let's just dive into the article. Tap the like button to get more men to see this message so we can protect one another. This article is courtesy of Wink News and it reads, Rubio co-sponsors a bill to make fathers pay child support from conception. Gents, let's dive into it. Republican lawmakers, including Florida Senator Marco Rubio, have a new proposal after the Supreme Court in June overturned Roe v. Wade. Prospective fathers should be on the hook for paying child support from the moment of conception. The new bill, introduced on July 13 in both the Senate and House, is called the Unborn Child Support Act and would amend the Social Security Act to give mothers the ability to receive child support payments while they are pregnant, according to a statement from Senator Kevin Cramer, a Republican from North Dakota. The proposal comes as roughly 24 states are restricting child deletions access in the wake of the Supreme Court's June decision striking down the 50-year-old precedent set through Roe v. Wade. Support programs for pregnant women and women with newborn children are lacking in many of the states that are restricting early terminations. That includes the 8 states that opted out of the Medicaid expansion under the Affordable Care Act, which covers pregnancy through postpartum for low-income Americans. All right, gents, so let me get this straight. Let's say I enter a woman's wet vice grip, and she gets pregnant and says I'm the baby daddy. But I wore a rubber, and it didn't burst, and I'm clearly not the father. So you're telling me that I would be liable to pay child support just because she said so? Oh, hell no. This is criminal, brothers, on so many levels that it isn't even funny at this point. How the hell am I liable to pay child support just on what she said, and not in the face of evidence? Unless they make it mandatory that we get a non-invasive prenatal paternity test, then all right, I can rock with that. But to order a man to pay child support just because the woman said he's the father is going to wreck men's lives on so many levels. We already know that women lie about paternity all the time. If this bill is passed and all she has to do is say, the gents knocked me up, and I have to start paying child support, then I'm going full monk mode, brothers. I'm not someone who is likely to get a vasectomy because I don't like surgeries, so the next best thing is to go monk mode and wait on the Segs robot. You guys think I'm kidding, but I'm dead serious. There's no way I'm paying for a kid that is not mine. I must be certain that the kid came out of my nuts before they get a dime from me. This country is being flipped upside down, guys. Let's continue. That sparked criticism from Democrats and people who support reproductive rights, who note that banning child deletions would force many women to carry a child to term without the financial or health resources necessary to care for it. Women who are denied early terminations are more likely to suffer from economic distress, including experiencing a higher rate of bankruptcy and eviction, according to a study that tracked 1,000 women who were denied abortion care. Mothers should be able to access child support payments as soon as she is supporting a child, Cramer said in the statement. He added, fathers have obligations, financial and otherwise, during pregnancy. All right, gents, so my interpretation is they want fathers to pay, and I agree that fathers should support their kids, especially if the mother isn't holding the kid hostage. But they said father, and to my knowledge, women are having bedroom fun on the rooster rotation with multiple men, so how will they determine who the father is? That is what I want to know. How do we protect the men who are not the actual fathers from just being handed the responsibility of caring for another man's unborn kid while he gets away scot-free? I haven't heard them say mandatory DNA testing for all men that are prospective fathers. I haven't heard them suggest a punishment or fine for a woman that wrongfully labels a man as the father and he is forced to pay child support to an unborn child that isn't his. Is something wrong with me for wanting to pay child support for a child that is actually mine? What the hell? Guys, how do we go around this, especially for the raw dog nation who loves busting nuts inside these 304s? That is my biggest concern because I know that a lot of men love to roar up inside women. So what are men to do now besides the obvious of not busting in these women? The only protection I can see is getting the SNP to protect men from this bill if it becomes a law. Dark days are coming, gents. You better hold on to your hats and see what becomes of this. Let's continue. Although it's unclear whether the bill has any chance of moving forward in Congress, arguments over the status of a fetus revealed a complex new legal landscape around reproductive rights. For instance, earlier this month, a pregnant Texas woman who was pulled over for driving in a high-occupancy vehicle lane argued that her unborn baby should count as a second person, citing the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade ruling. The woman, Brandy Botten, told CBS News that she viewed the incident as involving two people and that she planned to fight the traffic ticket in court. I don't think they really care. Some reproductive rights advocates are sounding the alarm about the GOP child support proposal, noting that the effort could be a way to redefine a fetus as a person from the moment of conception. The idea of personhood has legal implications for the rights of a fetus versus those of the parent and is a long-standing issue on both sides of the child termination debate. I don't think they really care about people getting support when they're pregnant, Mississippi Reproductive Freedom Fund co-founder Lori Bertram Roberts told the Mississippi Free Press. I think their real goal is to get personhood language into a bill. And gents, I think this is clown world. Is this what we are debating now? Is this where the United States is heading? Where is the meteor? I think it is long overdue to purge this earth of all this BS. So if a woman is pregnant, she should be viewed as two people. Lord have mercy. I don't even know what to say, brothers. I can't deal with these people. Let's continue. The bill would work by amending the Social Security Act, which requires states to manage a public child support system that oversees issues such as determining paternity and collecting child support. Under the proposal, a court could award child support payments prior to birth and retroactively to the point of conception, as determined by a doctor according to the statement. It also wouldn't require women to ask for child support if they don't want the prospective father's involvement. Paternity tests would be up to the prospective mother, according to the statement. The bill is co-sponsored by a number of Republican lawmakers, including Rubio and Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's time to get your passport and get the hell out of this country if you want to have kids. The Philippines, here I come. This can't be real, right? So the paternity test is up to the mother. Giving more power to women and just ordering men to pay up. F all that BS, there's no way this can be real. Look, I see no problem as long as the man doesn't have to pay child support until a DNA test is done. But knowing how the elites of the world think and how the child support system is all about the money, I believe they will make anybody who the mother deems to be the father start paying child support for the unborn child. Could you ever have imagined that a bill would be proposed that would allow men to pay for a child that isn't born yet? I would never in a million years think this would be the direction that America would go. But the more I think about it, could this be because they realize that men are not marrying women anymore, so they are trying any way necessary to get men to pay? You guys might not be aware of how this message is spreading, and the younger generation is not planning to get married due to seeing their parents divorcing each other. And with more and more men deciding to opt out of relationships and live a life independent of women, I think they see the writing on the wall, and they are trying to pass the buck to men to make us support women. If you stop and think about it, this in the bachelor's tax argument makes sense because the government does not want to support women, so passing child support payments automatically to men will force us to pay and support women instead of marriages. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply, but I know how the elites think, and this is definitely something they would come up with to deter people from creating babies and increasing the world's population. But we'll have to wait and see if this bill gets passed and if other countries adopt it and make it law. Only time will tell, brothers, but I sense trouble in the air for men. If you enjoyed the video, tap that thumbs up button and subscribe for more RP content. If you want to donate to the channel, then the links to our PayPal and Cash App are in the description box below. Share the video with a friend that may be affected if this bill is passed and help spread this awareness. And remember, gents, protect your seed.